Imagine stepping into a gym that doesn't just build muscle, it redefines how strength is created. This isn't hype, it's hard data. Welcome to the science-backed gym where every lift, every rep, every workout is designed to maximize results with precision. Forget outdated routines. This is the place where training meets evidence and progress is no longer a guessing game. If you want to conquer plateaus, unlock hidden strength, and train smarter than 99% of people, this is your blueprint. Because here, science isn't just theory, it's the ultimate weapon in your journey to domination. Introduction: the problem with traditional gyms call out outdated methods, cookie-cutter routines, and wasted effort. Position your gym as the solution. Most people walk into the gym with good intentions, but the truth is, the way most gyms are set up actually works against progress. Rows of machines, random exercise charts on the walls, and the same recycled programs passed around year after year. It all creates the illusion of productivity, but in reality, most people are just spinning their wheels. They train hard, but not smart. They follow workouts based on guesswork, science, or whatever the biggest guy in the room is doing, instead of a system actually built on evidence. The problem isn't that people don't care. The problem is that traditional gyms rarely teach you how to train in a way that makes every rep, every set, and every workout count. You end up stuck in a cycle, lifting, sweating, grinding, yet seeing almost no change in strength, muscle, or performance. And eventually, that frustration leads people to quit altogether. Think about it. If you're spending hours in the gym but not aligning your training with principles like progressive overload, proper recovery, or exercise selection backed by research, you're essentially throwing darts blindfolded. You might hit the target once in a while, but most of the time, you're missing the mark. And that's why so many people plateau. They're working hard, but the system itself is flawed. That's exactly what needs to be redefined. Training should never feel like a gamble. It should feel like a science-backed plan where your effort translates directly into results. And that's where the new approach begins: science as the foundation, evidence-based training principles, biomechanics, progressive overload, recovery. Show real studies and data to prove effectiveness. So if guesswork is the problem, then what's the solution? The answer is simple: science. Every effective training program, whether it's for strength, muscle growth, or athletic performance, starts with principles rooted in research. Think about progressive overload, the idea that your body adapts only when you consistently challenge it with just a bit more than it's used to. That's not a trend, that's decades of data proving how the body builds muscle and strength. The same goes for exercise selection. You don't just pick movements at random because they look cool. The best exercises are the ones that target muscles through their full range of motion, with tension in the right places. That's biomechanics, not opinion. And when you understand biomechanics, you can train smarter, reduce risk of injury, and actually see measurable progress. Even recovery, which most people either overlook or completely ignore, is backed by science. Sleep, nutrition, and rest days aren't optional. They're essential. Studies show your muscles don't grow while you're lifting. They grow when you're recovering. So, if you're training non-stop without a system that accounts for recovery, you're leaving gains on the table. This is the difference between hoping for results and engineering them. Science gives us the blueprint. It tells us how many sets actually stimulate growth, how to adjust volume when you hit a plateau, and why perfect form isn't just about looking good. It's about maximizing performance safely and effectively. When your training is guided by research instead of random routines, progress stops being a mystery. Smart training technology highlight tools, trackers, AI, or systems used. Demonstrate how they help optimize workouts. Now here's where things really start to change. For years, lifters relied on journals, memory, or just gut instinct to track their progress. But the truth is, if you're not measuring, you're just guessing. That's why smart technology is becoming a game changer in training. Imagine walking into the gym and having real-time feedback on your form, your range of motion, even the speed of every rep. That data doesn't just look cool. It tells you exactly where you're improving and where you need to adjust. Think about tracking bar velocity, for example. If the bar is moving slower than usual, it's a clear sign your body is fatigued, and that might be the day to dial back. Or when you see your rep quality improving over time, you know you're getting stronger in a measurable way. This isn't guesswork. It's objective feedback that takes the uncertainty out of training. Wearables, apps, and AI-driven systems can now give you precision over your workouts that used to be reserved for professional athletes. They help ensure every set is aligned with your goals, whether that's building muscle, gaining strength, or improving endurance. And the best part, technology doesn't replace effort. It amplifies it. It takes the work you're already putting in and makes sure that effort is moving you in the right direction. We live in a time where science and technology can merge to transform the way we train. Ignoring that is like leaving half your potential untapped. Redefining strength and performance emphasize smarter programming over just lifting heavier. Show case studies or real-life transformations. Strength has always been measured by how much weight you can move. But here's the thing. True performance isn't just about stacking plates on the bar. It's about how efficiently your body moves, how much power you can generate, and how well you can sustain that performance over time. Lifting heavy is great, but if the way you train doesn't translate into actual results, better muscle growth, more athletic ability, fewer injuries, then the numbers don't mean much. That's why redefining strength is so important. It's not about ego lifting or throwing weight around just to say you did. It's about training smarter so you can perform better in every aspect, whether that's hitting a PR, dominating on the field, or simply moving pain-free in everyday life. When training is rooted in science and supported by technology, you start to see progress that actually matters, more control over the bar, more consistency in your lifts, and more balance between pushing hard and recovering fully. Performance is no longer a one-dimensional measure. It's not just how strong you are. It's how strong you can stay, how well you can move, and how much you can progress without burning out. That's the difference between someone who peaks once and someone who builds strength that lasts a lifetime. And when you combine all of this science, technology, and smarter programming, you realize that training isn't about chasing numbers. It's about building the kind of strength that carries over into every area of your breaking plateaus and maximizing gains. Actionable science-backed tips that crush stagnation. Nutrition plus recovery as part of the system. Every lifter knows the feeling of hitting a wall. At first, progress comes fast. You add weight to the bar, you see changes in the mirror, and it feels like you're unstoppable. But then, almost out of nowhere, things slow down. You train harder, you grind out more sets, yet the results just don't show up. That's the plateau, and the truth is, it happens to everyone, but here's the difference. Most people either push harder in the wrong direction, or they give up entirely. The smarter move is to adjust with intention. And this is exactly where science gives us the tools to break through. Small changes in training volume, intensity, or exercise selection can reignite progress. For example, research shows that slightly increasing weekly sets or shifting to a new rep range can create the fresh stimulus your muscles need to grow again. It's not just about training, though. Nutrition and recovery are two of the most powerful weapons against plateaus. If your protein intake, sleep, or rest days are inconsistent, you're holding yourself back no matter how hard you push in the gym. Plateaus aren't a sign that you've reached your limit, they're a signal that something in your system needs to evolve. By paying attention to the data embracing smarter programming, and aligning training with proper recovery, you can turn a plateau into a launchpad. Progress doesn't have to stall, it just has to be recalibrated. Call to action: redefine your training journey, motivate audience, train smarter, not harder. This is how you conquer the gym with science. Encourage likes, subscribes, and joining the community. At this point, the path forward should be clear. Training isn't just about lifting weights or copying someone else's routine, it's about taking control of your journey with purpose. The beauty of a science-backed approach is that it puts the power in your hands. Instead of wondering if what you're doing is working, you can know it is. Instead of wasting months on ineffective workouts, you can spend that time building strength, muscle, and confidence that actually lasts. This is the moment to stop thinking of the gym as just a place where you show up and sweat. It's a laboratory for progress, where every rep and every set can be tracked, analyzed, and optimized. And when you combine consistent effort with the right principles, you create momentum that compounds week after week. That's when training stops feeling like a chore and starts becoming something you look forward to, a process you trust because you see the results happening in real time. But none of this works unless you commit to it. The system, the technology, the research, it's all just potential until you put it into practice. The choice is simple: keep doing what everyone else is doing and hope for progress, or step into a smarter way of training where your work pays you back. If you're ready to stop guessing, stop plateauing, and start redefining what strength really means for you, then this is your call to action. This isn't just another gym, this is a system built on evidence, precision, and progress that you can actually measure. The world doesn't need more guesswork. It needs smarter athletes, stronger lifters, and people willing to train with purpose. If you're tired of wasting effort and ready to see results that last, then it's time to step into a gym that redefines what training means. Because here, every rep has a reason, every set has a strategy, and every workout moves you forward.